Good morning. This is Holly Chiropractic. How can I help you? Hello. Okay, what do you mean by until 3? Oh,
Okay, we're gonna pause right
okay, let me
there
check.
and jump right in. So welcome to Team Tuesday for
Somebody did cancel, so I have a 1:30 available and a 2:00.
all of you. You our awesome friend Saul here as he finishes booking that new patient. Great, we've all been there. Okay, let's make sure everybody that needs to be here is here. We'll cut off the entry. So anyone trying to enter now is gonna have to catch the rewatch. So thank you to all of you that are here live today for team training with chiropractic assistants across the globe. It's an honor to be here with you today. So our topic today is the new patient tour. So show of hands, who does a tour in your office? Yes, awesome, beautiful. And go ahead and put your video on if you're not joining us by video. We love to see you during the call. So a lot of people are just here by audio, but go ahead and put your video on. So if you're already doing a tour, this is the opportunity to really look at it with fresh eyes and see how could we do things a little bit differently? How could we spice things up and make it even better? And what are some takeaways? So one thing that I really look at with every office tour is making sure that each step of the way is intentional and has a point and a purpose. So when you break down your tour and look at each little section, what's the point? What's the purpose? Is it achieving, the outcome that you want? And so I'm going to show you how we do that here. And before we do that, though, at the beginning of every call, we always like to celebrate our wins. Like, what's going well for you? What are you celebrating in practice, in life? So what I'm going to do is, we have a lot of people on today live, so I'm going to do a writing exercise because we won't be able to have everybody share. So go ahead, and if you're here with us live, grab a piece of paper and a pencil if you haven't already, and you're going to write down 3 things, 3 categories. You ready? Are you ready? Jenna's ready. She's holding up her pen. Nice. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. So your 3 categories are health, wealth, and connection. Health, wealth, and connection. I got this from Elevate Retreat. Health, wealth, and connection. Health, wealth, and connection. And then first, what we're going to do is write down, like in each of those categories, what's not going well. So in your health, what's not going well or what could need improvement. And just try to keep it bullet point style for yourself, in your wealth, what's not going well or what could need improvement. And then in your connection, which is covering everything, right? Your romantic connections, your family, your friends, your coworkers, like any type of connection, your connection with yourself. So it's a big umbrella. So what can improve with connection? Often people have one of those categories as super strong, one super weak. Maybe they all need lots of improvement, but do you guys agree there's always room for growth, right? Even if one is amazing, you can still find one thing that you can improve. Health, wealth, connection. Awesome. I see some of you are done already. Health, wealth, and connection. What's not working for you in each of those areas? And I'm not going to have you share, so dig deep, do the big one. Like what's really not working. And then go ahead and when you've gotten all three, just kind of look into your camera so that I know that you're done. If you're not joining us by video, please do. Or if you're in a situation where you can't, just do a thumbs up. There's like these little Zoom emojis you can use, something to let us know that you're finished. Got a thumbs up from Deanna. Awesome. And Sam. Beautiful. A lot of people looking at, look at these pretty eyes, these healthy chiropractic eyes. You guys notice that, like the chiropractic shine? People have that glow about them when they've been under care for a long time. Awesome. Okay, beautiful. So now what we're going to do is take those same three areas and pick what is working. What are you celebrating about your health, about your wealth, about your connection? And I want to share an example of a woman that I was working with this week who was super duper struggling financially, had like past due bills, had a negative account balance, all of these things. So when we got to the wealth category, she was like, there's nothing to celebrate. It's terrible. Then she was able to really look at it and realize that she had a home. She was renting, but she had a home, a place to live. Her refrigerator and pantry had food in it. So she was able to look and find some wealth celebrations of things that were going really well. So if there's one of these categories and you're like, oh, this sucks, like I just got a divorce this week or whatever, something like where it's really difficult, dig a little bit deeper. What connection is powerful? What support do you have? Maybe it's your relationship with yourself is getting stronger. So come up with at least one thing that's working really well in each of those categories. Good job. I can see everyone's doing some real honest searching. And then we'll do the same thing here. I'll wait about 2 minutes, but if you finish, do a thumbs up, look into the camera. Show me those shiny Cairo eyes. Health, wealth, and connection. Health, wealth, and connection. Got it. Those of you just joining us, we just wrote down, you may have to finish this later, but we wrote down health, wealth, and connection, and the things that were not working in each of those categories. And now the teams here are writing down the things that are working the best in each of those categories: health, wealth, and connection. Who has theirs? Who has all three? Show of hands of what is working. 1, 2, 3. Keep them up, keep them up, keep them up. Okay, beautiful. You guys are all little squares, so it takes me a minute to look around. Okay, beautiful. So what did you notice? Like if you look back on the last 8 minutes, what did you notice when I asked you what wasn't working and writing those things down? Who felt stress in their body? Who kind of started breathing shallow? Who slunched over in their chairs? I love the writing assignments because I get to watch you guys, right? And see how you shift. Okay. And then when you started to look at what was working, who found things that you didn't even know were there? Like when you had to find something that was working in those categories, who was surprised? Like, yeah, I guess that is good. If I want to find something. So this really like proves to ourselves that what we focus on is what we're going to experience and feel in our bodies. And it'll trickle out and affect every area of our life and our work performance. So I heard a really cool story actually this morning, and I was listening to this talk, and he said, if you had someone come knock on your front door and they were holding an axe, a gun, some poison, a machete, would you let them in? And obviously everyone's like, hell no, I wouldn't let them in, right? You tell them to go away, kick the sand, call the police, whatever. And he said, that's like our minds. Like, what thoughts are we letting in our minds? What thoughts are knocking? We can't prevent them from knocking on the door. You know, we can't prevent them from coming in, these negative thoughts or negative viewpoints of these areas of our lives. They're going to come up, but we get to choose if we let them inside and how long we're going to let them stay. And so when you have thoughts that are not serving you, are not serving your patients, are not serving your family, your community, that's a question I like to ask myself when these thoughts come in is this thought serving? Is it helpful? Not is it true, right? Because we can find any negative thought, we can find some sort of truth in it. It might not be all the way true. You know, maybe it's like, I'm not good enough, I suck, whatever. You'll find ways and reasons why that's true. Our brain's really good at proving things to us, even things that aren't true or only partially true. So if we're asking, is that true? That's going to really take us down a negative path. So instead, just simply asking, is this serving? Is this helpful when those thoughts come in? If not, think of it as that guy at the door with the machete, the gun, the poison, right? And say like, okay, out of here, because we get to choose what we're going to focus on and dwell on. Sorry, my the building gardener just got here and my dog is barking. He's hopping around to stay with me. Anyways, so does that make sense? Is that helpful? Raise your hand if that's helpful. Okay. So I want to just encourage you guys throughout the week and in the practice, especially like knowing that your practice, I'm going to shut the door, sir. Your practice is a sacred space. It's a sacred space of healing. So that's another thing you could say is this thought really aligned with health, healing, wellness. If it's not, it doesn't even belong in the practice. Like set it aside, tell it to go take a hike and focus on something else, which is what we just did, right? We took the same 3 categories and there was a negative thought about them. And then you guys all were able to beautifully pull out a positive thought about the same category, the same thing. So see how it's possible in any situation with any thought. Anyways, I just had on my heart to share that with you guys today. So now we're going to jump into the office tour and how to create an extraordinary office tour. Can you guys still hear me okay? Yes? Okay, so there's a couple points I have for you. 9 things to keep in mind when you're bringing a new patient in, you're welcoming someone into the family. So the first one is you're going to give a wow first impression, a powerful wow first impression. Make it feel just really exciting and special and like they're coming to this amazing place and they want to be part of it. You know, make them feel loved, just those little teeny things that we do, you know, with people that we really care about. Make them feel like we've been waiting for them. We've been expecting them, that they're coming in. And I think the worst thing that could happen is a new patient coming in and not being acknowledged, right? So you have to be really intentional about this. Like in your pre-shift huddle, when you go through who's coming in, you look at the new patients, you know their name, you memorize their name, what their symptom is, why they're coming in, all of those things. And then you're going to make sure whoever's going to give the tour, your front desk, your rehab person, your billing person, whoever's going to give the tour that day, they know the person's name, they know their symptoms, they know everything that we know about this person coming in. And they're going to be there and be ready at the appropriate time to give the tour. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So your wow first impression. The second thing is make sure that you, hang on guys, I'm going to try to do a little screen share here with you that I think is going to be really, really helpful. And you'll notice, raise your hand if you've done like office tour training. I mean, if you've done phone call training with me before. Okay, notice there's some overlap here. Who notices that? Exactly. Okay, so thanks for your patience. Why is my screen share not working? That's okay. Okay, sorry. Thank you for your patience, guys. Okay, so then you know their name, you know why they're coming in, which you have to ask on the call. So if someone else is giving the tour, you have all this information about them. And then during the tour, there's a couple of things you want to accomplish. You want to accomplish letting them know that what you do in your practice is very unique and different, even compared to other chiropractors. So right now, write down your uniqueness. And I know that we've done this, on new patient call tours, but new patient calls, we may have had things change. So write down like 3 things, 1 thing, 5 things, whatever, that makes your practice unique. Maybe you're Pedabond certified, maybe your chiropractor does the Webster technique, maybe you're a full wellness center, you also have acupuncture, massage, all these things. So what makes the practice unique or your doctor unique? What about something as simple as, he genuinely cares about what's best for each patient? That's really unique for any sort of medical practices. So if you've done this exercise before, try to think of new things. Like what now makes it really unique? Who's new to the team? Who's brought new skills, new talents, new things? What do you bring to the table? What's your expertise that makes the practice unique? Cool. And then you're going to always compliment, similar to the call, you're going to compliment the referral source during the tour at the beginning, and you want to compliment the doctor as well and what makes them unique. And I call the tour like the dangling the carrot type of thing. You want to get them excited, dangle that carrot where they're curious and excited to proceed. And the overall goal is that by the time they get to the doctor, they're ready, they're softened, they're ready to be a new patient. So when their doctor comes in the room and says something along the lines of, we're very unique and different compared to other chiropractors, or here's what we specialize in, whatever they say to start their day one, our goal is that the patient's going to say, oh, I know, or I see that your team showed me. So you've really paved the way to pass the baton, like an Olympic athlete passing the baton to the next person. You're passing the baton to the doctor. So who has any questions so far, comments, things you do in your tour? Nothing yet. Okay, cool. So I'm going to show you a short, I don't know why this is still preparing live stream. I don't know if you guys see that on your end, but that's okay. We'll upload it for you. So you won't, if you don't have access to the live stream. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share with you about 6 minutes of a video clip of me bringing a patient through the tour. Would that be helpful? Yes. Okay. I know first Tuesdays are like our movie days. It's the only time we watch videos. So I'll go ahead and share that with you here. Let's see. I'm also, I would say, not the queen of screen share. Here we go. So look at the point, the purpose behind each section of the tour, jot down things you like, oh, I'm going to take that for my tour. Things you don't like, things you want to edit about your tour. Can you hear it? Volume? Okay. Hello, you must be Artisan. I'm Haley. We spoke on the phone. Yeah, nice to meet you. It's great to meet you. I know that Dr. Fred referred you. He is a phenomenal patient, and he has gotten many life-changing results here. You are going to love the doctors here at Wellness Choice too. Now, I remember when we spoke on the phone, you mentioned you had some sciatica pain and then also asthma.
Right. And also a lot of neck pain.
Neck pain too. Okay. Well, we help patients with those conditions every day here at Wellness Choice. So hopefully we can help you too.
Yeah.
May I give you a tour of our office?
Yes.
Wonderful. We are a wellness center and we specialize in corrective and family chiropractic care, as well as massage therapy, nutritional counseling, and weight loss. Have you been to chiropractic before?
Yeah.
You have, okay. Well, what we do here is very unique and different, even compared to most chiropractors. We have patients getting off of their medications every day here at Wellness Choice as they build a strong, healthy life. In fact, we have a patient that just got off of his inhaler just this past week. So hopefully we can help you too. This is our lifetime members law. All of our patients want to become lifetime members to continue building a strong and healthy life. And this is where we highlight patients of all ages that have been dedicated to their care, leading to exceptional results. This is where patients perform their postural exercises that we design for them. These are called vibe plates. They use vibration technology to stimulate proprioception for muscle memory and postural correction. They also increase core strength, balance, stability, and coordination. This is where patients receive the adjustment and where the doctors will work with you one-on-one. The types of adjustments that we offer here relieve the stress and tension in your problem areas. For you, your neck and sciatica. They also initiate the healing process of the body. Postural correction is what we specialize in. And better posture means better overall health because it facilitates proper nerve flow from your brain to all the organs of your body. This is where patients perform their postural exercises. These are specific exercises designed digitally for each patient's individual posture. These exercises help strengthen the muscles supporting the spine, and they increase the overall movement and maintenance of your new posture. We digitally analyze each of our patients' individual posture to come up with unique exercise programs specific to their condition.
Right.
What we do here is very unique and different, even compared to most chiropractors. We specialize in the most advanced research in postural correction and fixing any kind of structural issues. These units here are called traction machines. They help stretch the shortened ligaments and muscles supporting the spine, which increases your posture and overall health.
Right.
This is the room where patients experience rejuvenation with spinal decompression. This machine is used for patients with chronic neck and lower back pain. It helps increase the disc space and blood flow throughout the body. This is our kids' corner. Over 30% of our patients here are children. Art, do you have kids?
Yeah.
Wonderful, that's great. We see a lot of kids here at Wellness Choice. Now I'll show you the weight loss room. We also have a unique weight loss and nutritional counseling program, which helps our patients revitalize and transform their lives. It's a physician monitored program in which our patients lose on average 2 to 5 pounds per week. The protocol is essentially protein-based, and the nutrition is strictly monitored throughout the weight loss.
Right.
Each patient is assigned a personal weight loss coach.
All right.
Many of our patients get therapeutic massages to relieve muscle stress and tension in the body and to promote the healing process. The doctors recommend specific patients get muscle work done in conjunction with their corrective chiropractic program.
Okay.
Our doctors are continuously getting invited to write for and get featured in many local magazines.
Wow.
Our x-rays are digitally analyzed with the most advanced software to date on spinal biomechanics for the most thorough evaluation of your condition. This is our new patient consultation room. If you are accepted as a new patient, your posture will also be analyzed digitally so that we can come up with specific exercises to help improve your posture and your overall health.
Sounds good.
Go ahead and take a seat.
All right.
This is our new patient application form. We don't accept every patient that walks in here unless we can guarantee results. Once the doctor evaluates you and understands what's causing your condition, she will make recommendations at that time.
Okay.
So go ahead and fill out this paperwork and open the door when you're finished.
Great. You too.
Art, can I get you some water or tea?
No, I'm good.
Okay, it was a pleasure meeting you.
You as well.
The patient tour is one of the most important things that we make sure that every single practice member, every single team member in our office actually knows how to do. It's a way to welcome anyone that walks into the office, whether they're a spouse, they're a friend, they're walking, and asking for directions or asking, what do we do here, or anything like that. The very first thing that these patients that are walking into our office are going to experience is going to be you presenting the office and giving them your very good wow impression. So you want to be very welcoming, you want to be open, you want to be smiling, you want to make sure that you have that very good palm up handshake as soon as you introduce them. When you are welcoming the patient, when they first walk into the office, you'll want to make sure that they feel expected. That is why you would use their first name when you are greeting them, and you let them know you must be so-and-so. We've been expecting you. I talked to you over the phone, and you just kind of use the conversation that you've had over the phone with them to help yourself build rapport with the patient. If you know who referred them to the office, then you'll definitely want to compliment the source of referral. So if they tell you, so-and-so referred me to the office over the phone, you'll definitely want to bring that up. You'll want to have as much information as possible. So you'll let the patient know, so-and-so got great results in our office. They got phenomenal results in our office, and hopefully we can do the same for you. It is important, however, never to tell the patient that you can help them, because that's not your job. It's something that the doctor will have to sit down with them, discuss with them, and determine if that's something that they can help with. And that's something that the doctor will discuss with them later on. Once you walk up to them, of course, you know their name, and you probably know some things about their condition that you can personalize the tour for that particular person. For example, if they told you over the phone that they have lower back pain, or they have neck pain, or they have asthma, you're using those bits of information to make your tour personalized. Your body language is extremely important all throughout the process as well. So you would start with the handshake. It would be two-handed, and it would be palm up, and it would be very strong and welcoming with a big smile. You would introduce yourself. You would call them by their first name, because you already know that. You may even bring up some of the symptoms that they have had, that they have told you over the phone. I know that you're here for neck pain because you told me so over the phone. We help a lot of patients with this condition all the time, and hopefully we can do the same for you as well. One of the purposes of the tour is to establish that what we do here is very unique and different than other chiropractors and other practitioners. And one of the ways that you establish that with a patient is with your body language, with your tone, and with your eye contact. So what you'll want to do when you say the sentence that we are very unique and different than other chiropractors is you'll want to slow down your tone. You'll want to have very direct eye contact, and you're at the same time pushing your hands away from your body, showing that, the uniqueness that.
Okay, we're gonna pause right there for now. What do you guys think? Did you like it? Raise your hand if you saw that for the first time. Yes, awesome. Okay, so hopefully you got some good gems from there. And, I was thinking about training, and training on things like this, even things that you're really good at. And if you look at, we've all heard repetition is the mother of all skill. If you look at the people that are the best in the world at what they do, they train all the time, even at the things that they're really good at. So Grant Cardone says that he trains his new team members for years, and that they train daily. Every single day, they're training on something. Tom Brady said that it wasn't until after my last game that I took a deep exhale for the first time in 36 years. He says he'd almost rather practice than play the game. So that's really what it's all about. I have now definitely given hundreds, if not thousands, of office tours. I've trained on it thousands of times, trained thousands of CAs on the office tour. I made the video, I've watched the video hundreds of times, right? But still, once a quarter, this is something I want in my rotation that I'm practicing and actually role playing through to stay sharp and really maintain my edge. So I want you guys to start thinking about your training schedule. What is your training schedule? Do you have one? If you don't, make one. Write down all the topics, like all the things you do in your role that would take training, even things you do every day. And then I found with chiropractic assistant job, it's usually about, depending on if you're training weekly, daily, or monthly, it's going to be either a quarter of topics or a year of topics. And you're going to rotate through these with your entire team. And that way you stay sharp, you stay the best in the world. You want to know that you can create quality. Chiropractic care is like the Ritz-Carlton of healthcare. So you want to make sure that everyone that comes in has that amazing quality experience. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. So if you don't have a training schedule, need help with that, I can help you create one. I have a yearly one. I have a quarterly one. So just let me know. I'm happy to help you with that. And then have your resources ready. You know, if you're going to do scripting, videos, whatever tools you need to make those trainings really, really efficient. So think about that. What's my training schedule, even when we're all trained? You know, how are we going to stay sharp and passionate and excited about these things? Okay, cool. So for everybody here today, I want to open up for Q&As. What'd you get from the video? What are you going to do? Are you going to create an office tour? Are you going to edit the one you have? What are you going to add in? What'd you learn? So let's hear from the group. What did you learn about office tour? Take yourself off mute and share.
I liked just the use of body language. Like I've been focusing so much on the talking that I don't think about my body language as much.
Yes, that's so good. I always like to just think of, is my body language congruent with what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so if you're saying like, we're very unique and different, are you nodding yes? You don't want to be nodding no, you know, because that's going to send an opposite message. And actually people pick that up in their subconscious mind that someone's lying. Like when they see someone nodding no, when it's a yes thing, they'll think that you're lying on some subconscious level. It will break trust and rapport. However, actors do that all the time. They nod no. And so we've picked that up in our culture, like people that watch TV a lot and stuff. And even if you don't watch TV a lot, but your friends do, you may have picked up the like nodding no while you're talking. And it makes sense that acting, they do it, right? Because it's not genuinely who they are. It's just a natural subconscious default. So we have to kind of retrain our brains to nod yes when we're saying something positive and no when we're not. And also, I like to think about like you are representing health and healing. So if you're saying like, this is our adjustment table, this is where the magic happens. This is where we reset your brain and nervous system to hold your new and correct posture. You know, how's your posture when you're saying it? Are you showing them with your body language, with your hands? All of that is so important. Look at your feet. Are they rooted in the ground? Are your hands palms up when you're showing them around in a welcoming position? Are you like off to one side? Are you fidgety with your thumb or shaking a foot or doing something because you're nervous? Like we got to cut all of that out to have really powerful body language. So I'm glad that you brought that up. That's awesome. Okay, what else did you guys notice? What are you going to improve with your tour? Or maybe it's, hey, I'm going to make a tour. We have a Max Living office today. Cool.
There was a lot of like you language.
Yeah,
like,
how so?
Your posture, for your health, for your wellness, for your family, and all of that.
Good pickup. So that's future pacing. That's called future pacing, where we're speaking to them as if they are already a patient. So we're preparing them, we're future pacing them to become a patient. That's cool. You picked up on that. Yeah, very, very good. You can even say, when you become a patient here, ... You know, our doctors will design unique exercises for you or whatever you do in your practice. Cool. What else did you guys like that you're going to add into your tours?
Hey, Haley.
Hi.
Hey there. I loved how you kept saying how unique and different everything was. This was unique compared to other chiropractors in the area. It was always, you always went back to the uniqueness in your office, which was great. And, I had a question for you. So you do this on the first visit, which is interesting. We always did it on the second or third visit. Did you ever feel like it was too overwhelming for patients to give them all that on the first visit? Or I was always trained to do, we called them VIP tours in our office, and we did them on like the second or third visit, usually because we have so much going on between new patient visit, the ROF, and everything else. So how'd you guys come up with doing that as the first visit? Or I've always been trained on the second or third visits. I just was curious about that.
Yes, that's a great question. So, I've been trained that people make their first impression really quickly, in the first 8 seconds. And so I want to make sure that their first experience in the office is a wow experience and is a little bit overwhelming of, wow, this place is amazing. They have a lot going on. So I definitely highly recommend for new patients doing the tour on the first visit. And you'll notice the video obviously was the most thorough, longest version of the tour, so once you really memorize your longest version, you may ebb and flow and shorten it a little bit or customize it a little more for different patients and their needs.
Mhm.
But what you'll notice is I never was explaining like the how-tos. And I've seen that mistake a lot where people will bring someone through a tour and they're explaining like day 2, day 3, day 4 stuff. So the tour is just like a little taste of like, ooh, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. It's nothing, you never want to put anything in there that they're going to have to remember, like no instructional things in the tour. It's just going to leave them with that feeling, that wow impression. So it's more of a feeling tour. And then once they've become a patient, you're almost doing another tour when you're training them on how to do things. So it's a little bit different.
Right.
And I love to highlight the uniqueness. You guys are network, right?
What's up?
No. Are you network? Oh no. Oh, I thought you were for some reason. I was gonna say it's nothing more unique than that. What do you guys practice?
What techniques?
Yes.
Oh no, combination of diversified upper cervical, Gonstead.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
I do extremity. I do a lot of sports chiropractic, so I do a lot of extremity stuff too.
Awesome. So your CA is going to have a lot to work with for highlighting the uniqueness for sure.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, who else wants to share or has questions? Show of hands if you're not consistently doing a tour for new patients, and this is something you want to implement. Or it's not really structured. You're like, here's the bathroom, here's the adjustment area. Show of hands if that's you. Oh, awesome. So everybody here is doing one. Very good. Very cool. Okay, what other questions, comments about the tour? And then we'll move into other questions. So let's do this. Write down 3 things that you're committed to improving with your new patient experience. 3 things that you personally in your role, even if you don't give tours, what are 3 things that you could take away from today to improve the new patient experience? Maybe it's aesthetics. Maybe it's to make what they see when they come in more appealing. Put the file cabinet in the storage room. Three things. And when you have your share, we'll let the first 5 people share. 3 things to improve that first new patient experience. Could be as simple as smiling more. Like, I'm going to smile more, even if it feels unnatural when they come in. Look them in the eye, have exceptional eye contact. And you guys realize like this might be, especially this day and age with how disconnected people are, this might be the only place they go that day where someone looks them in the eye and smiles at them and shakes their hand. That may be the only place that entire day or that entire week where they get that level of connection. It's really sad that that's almost non-existent now in our culture. I feel like that's what makes chiropractic different as well, right? As we connect deeply with patients and care and love. Who has their 3 things? Take yourself off mute and share. Joanne, Beth, Jenna. iPhone. What did you guys write down?
I'm going to say today's my first day. So
Yay,
here.
you're here. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. So I don't know
Awesome.
much about the office. It
Oh,
was
your first day working?
my first day working.
Oh, guys, give her some like massive high fives. Welcome to the club. Woo!
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
So
gonna love it.
I don't know what to improve because I still don't know the office yet. So I literally came in and we're starting.
Very cool. Wonderful. Well, that's good then, because it's everything for you, right? So the first thing from today would be implementing a tour and having that
Yes.
first impression.
Yeah.
I actually have some chiropractors that will, before they hire someone, they'll give them like a tour script and they'll have them memorize it. And that's part of the hiring process, is they'll have the person come in and give the doctor a tour of the office. Like it's part of applying for the job. So that's how important that wow first impression is, to learn it quickly.
Mhm.
You know? And
Well, I know he wants to grow the office, so that's why I'm here. I'm gonna learn and we'll take steps to just change. I think he wants to change the office a lot. So
awesome. Yeah, so there'll be a lot of systems things to learn, but also like the 2 really important things are going to be like your new patient call, your tour. Okay, and 3, and the beginning, like your beginning, what do you do before patients walk in?
Okay.
Beyond, computer systems and stuff.
Okay.
Very cool. Yay. Okay, what else do you guys have? Joanne, what did you take away from today? I see Max Living, and I know you guys are great at tours. What did you take out that you could add in? Oh, you're on mute too.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
We just do here a lot of greetings. We always make the environment very comfortable for everyone that comes.
Nice.
I'm very friendly and I'm a very happy person. So I just greet them. And when they finish their therapies, I just say goodbye, have a great day. It's trying to keep the environment always like if it were like home, peace, calm, a place where they want to come every day or they want to schedule more visits.
Can you guys feel that from her just listening to her talk? Like you just kind of want to hug her. Very beautiful. So maybe the next step for you guys and in your role might be seeing how can you customize a little more, right? So how can you customize for the person walking in and their unique condition, especially if we're really good at what we do and we're always like friendly, like, hello, goodbye, have a great day. How can we add some uniqueness to that? I think would be really, really helpful. And then also, what can you give them beyond the adjustment that they can take with them in shifting their mindset? So when they come in, what's the best thing you did for your health this week, or that kind of thing, or welcome to the healing place. So you're really shifting their feeling with words when they come in, and then also when they leave as well. Like, I'm so glad you got your body strong and healthy for the weekend. Things like that they're going to stick with them. So when they feel strong and healthy over the weekend, they link that back to the care in the office. So just getting a little more detailed, pooling more resources.
Okay.
Very cool. Saul, what's your takeaway? Saul, Karen? Aren't? Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Either of you guys, Aaron, Live Aligned. We haven't heard from you.
Well, for me, I think it's making it more personal for the patient. Just like, because I also like to talk to them and be happy and smile at them, but like probably more personal, like from their what they're like hurting or problem they have.
Beautiful. I love that. And just giving them that assurance, we help people with that all the time. Hopefully we can help you too. Very good. I love it. Know their symptom. Cool. And then also like not everything in your office, and this kind of goes back to John's question, not everything in your office is necessarily going to apply to where every patient is right now. So like, let's say for instance, you're a chiropractic biophysics office and you have all this rehab equipment and you have a woman come in that's 8 months pregnant. You're probably not going to focus a lot on talking about rehab. You might just say one little thing or even skip over it or say we're a full wellness center. You're going to focus more on the prenatal aspect of the office. So that does matter and make a difference. We don't want to just have one size fits all for the tours. Cool. Let's see. Saul, Live Aligned, Brew Hods. Sorry, I'm bad at reading unique names. Christy and Andrea and Sam. We haven't heard from any of you. Who has something to share or a question?
I got one.
Yes.
Can you hear me? All right. Just smile more.
Yes.
Sometimes we're like so just in depth of like talking to them where we forget that we're not smiling anymore. Like it starts off with it and then just slowly goes down. It's like we have to keep up the energy, keep up the happiness essentially.
It's so true. And you know what I've noticed about smiling too? When I'm smiling, like more air is going in. It sounds really weird, but if you smile for a long period of time, I feel it's easier to breathe deeply. And we all know like the benefits of breath, right? I don't have to explain that. So you're breathing deeper. Our subconscious mind, like our smile triggers energy. It triggers good times. So even if you feel like shit and you smile and it's a fake smile, it's still going to bring energy and power to your body. Because your body knows this feeling, when my body does this, this is the result. So that's huge, like just to give yourself the boost. Plus it's contagious. Then they smile. So that's like a game you guys could play in your office, because none of you are very like huge natural smilers. Maybe not even Dr. Scott, no. But that's a game you could play, is see who, like try to see if your smiling could get the whole office to smile, like all the patients, all the team members. So just secretly, don't tell anyone you're doing it, but smile at everyone that you pass and see if you can shift the whole environment to where everyone in the office is smiling. And all the patients, all the team members, especially you as the doctor, because you're the leader, right? So when your team sees you pass and smile and that you're happy and having a good time, look at your team next to you. She's even like creeping up a smile, just thinking about you smiling. It's happening already. Very cool. I love it. Okay, so last 10 minutes of every call, I do open Q&A about anything practice related. So I know we're doing a lot of Q&A, a lot of share today. So anything that you want help with or training on, we'll either quickly train on it here, I'll answer your questions, or we can set up another time to do that training. If you have questions about resources, videos, weekly training, you want more support through the process, this is your time, this is your moment. And most of your chiropractors, I've asked them to send you with lists, of questions or things you want to train on. So maybe you have that. Full open Q&A. What do you guys have for me today? What do you want?
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What would be, we're working on hiring another new staff and another team member. What would be the number one thing when you're hiring? We had like 30, 40 people show up. We did a big open interview and then we went through it and we got it down to like 10 and then 3. And it's been really difficult finding that person because you know how hard you train them and everything. So what would be the one thing that you would look for in someone as you're reviewing everything before you hire them?
That's a good
If
question.
you had one thing, you would, you know,
Just one, the
we
top.
want to like we want to hire somebody like you. That'd be awesome, right? We all have CAs like you, it'd be awesome. But you know, we really what would be the one thing you would look for if you were hiring a new CA?
That's a great question. I would look for
Or you can be 2 or 3 things, but
attitude and aptitude versus experience. You know, looking for that person that tends to be a glass half full person rather than a glass half empty. Because everything that we do really can be trained. Even attitude and aptitude can be trained, but it's the hardest and most draining thing to train. So if you have somebody that already has great attitude, great aptitude, like everyone on this call, they're already like a natural smiler and energetic, that can go a really long way. So that would be the number one thing. Definitely wouldn't get caught up on experience. Like I found more often it's a bad thing if they have chiropractic experience than a good thing, as far as like in an office, because your office is unique, you know. I would also look at, I know this is more than one thing, but I would definitely, like me personally, for my business, I always hire for my weaknesses. So the things that I don't want to do or I'm bad at, full disclosure, don't tell anybody, but I'm really not the best at Excel sheets and organization, like that type of thing. So I always make sure I have someone on my team that thrives in organization. And that's what I hire for. The team member I have now is the best team member I've ever had. And I hired her by putting a random post on Facebook on my personal page that said, looking for someone that loves Excel sheets. And she answered and has been extraordinary and like helped shift the whole business around. So sometimes I guess that would be my other thing, is really simplify. You know, sometimes we overthink it. Just look at where are the holes, where are the gaps that you need to fill, and fill those. For CAs though, definitely attitude and aptitude, because they're working with your patients. They're really the reputation of your practice. Okay, one more thing is I would look for lifestyle congruency. You know, so if you guys are all about health, you don't really want someone at the front desk that's drinking Coca-Cola or Red Bull. You know, I know that sounds really basic, but so where are you looking? You know, so if I'm looking, that's the only thing I would really care about on their application. You know, like if I have an application and they were a yoga instructor, or they worked at a juice shop, a green juice shop, you know, are these things that are kind of congruent with wellness, then I'm like, that's cool. But other things, you know, people can write anything on their application and I wouldn't give that value at all. Like I skim them.
How about on like how many years they've worked at another job? Some people have had 2-month experience to 2 years to 4 years, you know, looking for experience. Need to look at that as well.
It kind of depends on their age. Like right now where I'm at in business, I really value loyalty, you know, and want someone a longer time.
Right.
So I'd imagine that'd be similar for you guys. So if you are looking for someone long-term, we definitely need to look at that. You know, like, are they in a student that's going to graduate in a year? Like that's probably, even if they're an amazing person, that's probably not a good fit, you know? You may want like a mom that just sent her kids off to high school, you know, and has all this time now. And yeah, what do you guys have in the group? What's some good advice for you guys as far as looking at time frame at other jobs? Raise your hand if you're like awesome at your job. You're an amazing CA. All of you guys, come on. Okay. Before this job, raise your hand, we'll just take a poll. Before this job, did you work at any other job for over 2 years? Raise your hand if before this job, you've worked at other jobs for over 2 years. Okay, cool. Over 3 years? Over 4 years? Nice. Okay, interesting. So that's interesting to see for me too. So it does seem like a lot of the people here have been at jobs long-term. If you're looking at a younger audience, though, that's tricky because they don't have a lot of years in the work field. Yeah, 30 years. Yeah. Nice. Very cool. Okay, so I'll hang around for about 4 or 5 minutes for any other questions. Thanks everybody for being here. Raise your hand, give me some thumbs ups, some hearts if you got something out of today. Did you get what you came here for? Give me some hearts. Saw things in a new light. Yes. Oh, good.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, so I want to create the lifetime member wall, and I really don't know how to go about it.
Yes.
Do you get any examples? I know it was listed on your video on your tour, but I don't know if that can be shared on Facebook if people have examples of what they've done.
Yeah.
Like creating one. I've been given tours, so by the way, I know I didn't talk, but it was very informative. I took some notes. I've been doing my tour, but it can be improved.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So for the lifetime members wall, are you part of the Inspired Chiropractic Assistant Facebook group?
No.
If you're not, make sure you join. It's called Inspired Chiropractic Assistant group. And I would say like 90% of the people in that group have lifetime members walls because most of them are people that I've trained or work with on a regular basis. So go in there, throw up a post and ask, like, will you please share a picture of lifetime members wall? And you'll get a lot of different pictures. The ones that we have, you know, the bricks that you saw in the video, those are actually like at Home Depot. I got like baseboards, like a baseboard, and cut them. I've seen people just get white tiles. I've seen people do photos of patients. I've seen, you know, like a cork board with little cards. I have an office in Hollywood and they did stars, like the Hollywood stars. I thought that was kind of cool. I would say, like, since they're going to be up there a long time, I would go for something quality and aesthetically pleasing. You know, some people kind of have like cheesy little like things, you know, from Staples. And it's going to be like a big part of your office. Like, realize this is going to take up an entire wall and then start trickling to other walls. So you want it to be something that's beautiful and that matches. And then the other thing is make sure that you're really clear and your whole team is really clear on what qualifies them as a lifetime patient. So for us, we would put patients through like intensive care where they 3 times a week. And then after they finished, they got all their correction, everything, then they would go to maintenance, which they would also be on auto pay at that point. In the first of every month, a withdrawal would happen for their visits, their 2 visits or 4 visits, whatever their maintenance was. So that was kind of our thing. Like, once they went to maintain, they'd already gotten their correction, they maintained and were on auto pay. That's when they were committed for life. Like, they were going to come in weekly. So just make sure your new team members and everyone knows what makes a lifetime patient. And by the way, do not explain it to patients, like patients that are on auto pay. That was just for us, right? Patients are committed to a lifetime of health, that are committed. I know that was silly, but just not for you guys. For people on the rewatch, they might not know that. Very cool. Yeah, so join the group. Are you on Facebook?
I am.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I'll look for you there and I'll try to tag some people in your comments.
I think we're a friend on Facebook. I think you sent me a friend request a few weeks ago. I think.
I think so too. Cool. Okay, what other questions do you guys have? That was a good one. We have just like 3 more minutes of Q&A. Saul, do you have a question for us? No. Okay. He must be a parent. That was a good one. Okay, well, that sounds like a good time to log off then. Let's hop off. Just so you guys know, we do have chiropractic assistant immersion events. These are 2-day weekends. The only solely chiropractic assistant event on planet Earth. So we have those live and we have them virtual. The live Vegas one is coming up in May. There's a virtual one in June. They're both almost full, so make sure you register if you want that. The video you saw is a series of 6 training videos. Those are great for new hires, all the beginning stuff. They're great for staying sharp. They also include like scripting if you liked the scripting in the video. So reach out if you want those. I have an awesome promo code for you. And then also those of you that are on the monthly and want weekly support, we do have an upgraded version of this where you get weekly support. We have a private Facebook group where you get a lot of awesome support. So if that's something you want, that's a super low price point, something that you'll then have access to weekly trainings. Yeah, so I'll throw my phone number in the chat box for anybody, or maybe Brittany can do that for us, for anybody that wants to chat, or you could all hang out here for a couple minutes. And thanks for being here today. You guys are awesome. Everybody look at your hands. Look at the palms of your hands, see the lines in your hands. Okay, put one of your hands down on your hip, whatever one is the less dominant one, and hold the other one higher up, high up, high up, look up, lean forward, give yourselves a nice pat on the back. Nice, good job. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for being here.